in a sense, a big businessman needs a Neera Radia. Ratan Tata says, look, I had a public relations team and they were not efficient enough in the late 1990s because, that's when I needed a Neera Radia to influence government policy.
Absolutely. See, I have, at this point of time, the enforcement director, the CBI, let them do their job, let them find out if Ms. Radia has violated any laws of the land.
Yes.
As of now, we don't know whether she's violated tax laws or money laundering laws or whatever. But purely going by her conversations, which are in the public domain, she was doing a very good job. The people who come out rather unclean and rather poorly out of the episodes are the various people she spoke to. The chief mentor of the Confederation of Indian Industry, the foster son-in-law of the former Prime Minister of India, not to mention our fellow journalists.
Point taken.
They are the people who come through as people who are easily amenable to be influenced, who might be indulging in a lot of loose talk. But as far as Neera Radia is concerned, I've never met her. I'm one of those privileged members. She didn't find me important enough to call me up, so I'm very happy. But she was doing her job. She was getting paid.
So she was doing her job.
She was paid by Mr. Tata, Mr. Ambani, Mr. Unitech, or whoever.
It's the people, you believe the people she was talking to her more to answer for in a strange way. Suhel said there is a negative connotation though with the word lobbyist. Unlike in the United States where it's seen by many as a professional occupation, for many in India lobbying over the years has implied a middleman, or if I can crudely put it, a dalal. Will legislating this change the negative mindset associated with lobbying?
It will only change if the so-called lobbyists register and are not seeing the badge lobbying as a badge of dishonor. A. B. Look at what we used to think of PR professionals, with due respect to Dilip. Earlier, everyone thought public relations were about whining and dining. It's moved beyond because the professionals in that business have moved it beyond. They've had demonstrable action showing how they contribute. So, lobbying, the negative perceptions are born out of ignorance and out of bad behavior, as we've seen. If all of this changes, and if there is a significant visible change, then I think over time that perception will change as well.
But Suhel said, are you, for example, willing to be openly called a lobbyist? Are you, I come back to it, comfortable disclosing your business interests, for example, that you have an association with the Tatas? Are the lobbyists willing to come out into the sunlight? Or do you prefer to do this in the dark corners of the corridors of power?
See, I'm very comfortable because I know exactly what I do. I've never ever picked up the phone and spoken to you or to anyone in the media. I've never ever spoken to any goddamn minister or bureaucrat. I think most of them are scoundrels in any case. So I can only speak for myself. I run a marketing consulting business. I have nothing to do with PR. If you call me a lobbyist, Ranjan Bhattacharya has other fine names for me. Someone calls me a Nobel laureate, it doesn't matter. It's water off a duck's back. The fact is, if someone actually knows my business and then makes a comment, then it's worth talking about. Marketing consultancy has also been seen, and there you're right. Whenever I've come on a debate, no matter which channel it is, I've always disclosed my interest. And yes, one will bat because part of marketing is positioning of image. But it is not about getting things done because I don't even have a goddamn clue who will do it. Okay, but what is the solution then? If we are to believe that if a lobbyist begins to subvert public policy, I think that's what we are worried about. Where will a lobbyist become someone who starts subverting public policy? The crony capitalism that Paranjoy speaks about, Mahesh Jetmalani, will that ever change? Do you believe Indian business is ready to change, or Indian business likes to do business through lobbyists?
No, I think we're exaggerating, Rajdeep, the role of the lobbyists in this country. I mean, frankly speaking, if you look at even Neera Radia, who is a quintessential lobbyist, as I said, in the American sense, she performed different roles. She was a true lobbyist so far as Ratan Tata was concerned, in as much as the tapes reveal that she was trying to influence policy and keep a minister who was in favor of a policy that Ratan Tata was particularly pleased with. As far as Mukesh Ambani was concerned, she was not a lobbyist. She was a PR agent. I mean, he'd lost the Bombay High Court decision on the natural gas case, and she was trying to create a climate through the press, people like V. Sanghvi, etc., and trying to sort of, create a climate for the Supreme Court to show that the Bombay High Court judgment was wrong.
Right.
So, in the true quintessential sense, she was a lobbyist only for Ratan Tata, and there are very few like her in the country. So to have a law just because one person suddenly emerges and creates havoc in the portals of power, is not sufficient to warrant a law, particularly when, as I said earlier, you have a plethora of laws which are never really implemented. Besides, Rajdeep, the most important reason is we should not have a law recognizing lobbyists, because lobbyists in a country like India serve a nefarious purpose. As I said, what we want is policy to be influenced for the public good, and not policy to be influenced for money.